Warriors Unite! Back with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2 and the 1% Club. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you guys are on your purpose. Hope you guys are conquesting yourself and therefore conquesting everything around you under God's purposes and rules. And I'm glad you guys are with us. Hope you guys are well. Thank you guys for all the comments, likes, subscriptions, donations. It's all great. The main thing that I try to do is kind of get this information out to you. We're getting close to maybe 2 years of doing this now, I think. And it's just, it satisfies me to hear great comments that people are being successful. I don't get a chance to respond to everything. I try to see what I can get back to right away, but some people have given great stories about things they've been doing, and obviously reaction, female attraction, things like that, more clarity, better muscle, all kinds of stuff's going on, better shape, being fit, all kinds of stuff. So it's wonderful to see that males are getting stronger, and there's at least a 1%, maybe 2%, that we're getting the word out and getting up there. So let's do some shout outs before our comments today. We're going to do a nice one from God's Chosen, but let's go ahead and talk about this a little bit. Hamza Redfield, you look great. Thank you, Hamza. I appreciate that. For a 62-year-old warrior, I'm not that bad right now. I've done a lot of walking lately, planking on a treadmill, walking on a treadmill, planking, dieting. So I'm really shooting for those 6 packs. Not there yet, but we're going to get there. Soulitaire Records Officiel, thank you. Sheniskd, as usual, thank you. You look like a Doom man. You look like a grandmaster. Thank you so much. Doom, thank you. I appreciate that. Max Montlleo, thank you. One becomes James Bond on SR. That's a good analogy. I actually think you do have a lot of those tendencies that you see in that movies. That's good. Adam Rosso, 39, thank you. Kenswireart build, thank you. What is the women equivalent to SR? We'll probably do something on that. I think women, they have semen retention as well, but they have more of a... the problem with retention for women is that they have a lot of estrogen, and when they go through their time of the month, they end up losing a lot of their retention. This is why women are very emotional, and they tend to react emotionally, and that's okay for women to do, and it's great for women to do. In fact, that's what adds a lot of spice to life and families and things like that. The trouble is you can't be afford to do that when you got to make decisions and do things, and so that's why you need men around to be able to do that. But we'll talk about women and equivalent at some point. Fabio Guedes, thank you. I look like a car salesman selling cars in that one outfit I had. Thank you. Kinny Dehh, thank you. Wewewe. SR makes me chase like a maniac. Well, you have to. You're going to have a high sexual energy. There's no doubt about it. And retention is going to give you more testosterone, as a lot of things can do. But you're going to have to learn how to control it. And it's not easy, but it's something that's going to help you in the long run. Jonathan Karanja, thank you. Paul Monk Mode, yeah, Paul's, I think the one that talked about Monk Mode in Bible, thank you. Victoria Giant Rodriguez, thank you. Always great to get ladies involved. Drift for Life, What Rules Monk Mode. I think we talked about that a little bit yesterday. We'll do more of that as time goes on. And Mickflairr, I look young. Thank you, Mick. I appreciate that. That's a great comment. I always appreciate that. And YF, thank you for your comments as well. We kind of talked about some of those yesterday. All right, at the 4-minute mark here, let's talk about, this is a topic from God's Chosen, and I liked what he was talking about here. He was talking about that his mother did not tell me about this. Now, I'm going to kind of expand more on this, but I think that this goes back, warriors, to the age of society that we're in. Right now, we have a lot of single families. And I see this when I help out at the high school and help out and I teach at the college. I see a lot of, especially men, having a lot of single parents. And most of the single parents we look at are women, are mothers. Mothers by nature and by biological nature and God's nature is taking care of the children. So they want to make sure the children grow. And to all the power to them, it is the hardest thing in the world to be a mother, even in a family situation with a mother and father, but by themselves doing everything, that is the hardest job that I can think of. So my hat's off to a lot of women. But there's one thing that women cannot do, no matter what they try. They cannot give male children advice about how to be a man. They will look at it from their perspective, which is normal, but it's not the male perspective. And if you don't have a male around, a strong male figure, that boy is going to struggle as a boy, even questioning their identity and all kinds of stuff. And then basically as a man, they'll be that simplest man. Now, I struggled when I was younger because I loved my dad a great deal, but he was not in this category, was not a manly man. He was more of, because he grew up with just a mother. He did not know his dad very well. And so I think part of it is not his fault. I mean, he grew up with being raised by women. And once again, women are going to nurture you, but they're not going to teach you how to be a man. That they just can't do that. I mean, it just is illogical to think about that. So when we talk about that, as great as mothers are, and as great as women are, there's a lot of great things with women and men, women and mothers. The question then becomes is, how do you find this information out about being a man? And you go back to the masculine qualities that draw women. A lot of times women, even women coaches, dating coaches, they don't really know. They can kind of guess. They know what they like, they think they like. And once again, I think women, because of the culture we're always in, they're always going to take the high road because they don't want to look like they're some sort of, easy type of woman. So they're going to always take the high road. But in reality, men and women have a lot of desires. And they're going to have these type of desires to be, active and things like that, especially with multiple people nowadays. And though they're going to sometimes go out of that comfort zone and do things that are crazy. But they're not going to talk to their son about this kind of stuff. And what they really want is a dangerous male. A dangerous male who is controlled. An animal, a kind of a beast type mentality. I remember Jordan Peterson talked about this, and he kind of listed 5 things that women fantasize about. Characters. Vampires, werewolves, I think doctors, millionaires, and I think, I can't remember the fifth one, but it was another one of these ones that were just wild individuals who have status, but also unpredictable. And what you got to be is unpredictable. But going back to the thing about this is that you have to understand that your mom and mothers, I had a great mother too, are going to treat you as best they can to make you grow up, but they're not going to know about this. And in this society, we've got all of the wrong attitudes. This goes back to the old prince and princess model that we've had for a lot of years, in which the prince has to somehow impress the princess. And so we go around people trying to impress women all the time. And this is really the wrong approach. Now, it took me a long time to figure this out. But this ends up being the simplest behavior. All you're trying to do is please women, and hopefully they throw you a crumb here and there, and they attract it. And women will marry those men because those men will do anything for them. But they'll also withdraw from any kind of intimacy, things like that, because they basically feel like they have the guy. If the guy is unpredictable, and the guy, doesn't really do the things expected, and they do their own life, and they go on their own life, and they get themselves in shape, and they do things, that's when women realize and they wake up. They kind of talk about this in destroying the ego. And a lot of women, because of the society we're in, they're built up like they're the table, that they're great, that there's nothing wrong with them, and men should be worshiping them. Well, that's where this arrogance comes in, especially with American women. And so what you've got to do, warriors, is you've got to realize that your mother and the women in your family meant well, but they've kind of given you the wrong information when it comes to dealing with women. What women want and what they really want is 2 different things. They may say they want a nice guy that's going to treat them well and give them everything, but what they really want is someone who is unpredictable, and almost like they can get a mystery, they can figure out who this person is. And so not contacting them back all the time when they do emails, not always being there for them all the time, makes them wonder, makes them think about and value you more because you're not there. And I think this is a key to looking at the situation and saying, okay, what can I do to become this type of person? Well, it's simple. You're basically going to go ahead and be a goal-setting, high-value man. And that's why I always go back to the idea that one of the best ways to go on this journey is don't even think about retention. Don't even think about women. Do your own thing. Get your goals accomplished. Work on your goals, whether it's physical goals, spiritual goals, intellectual goals, job-related goals, whatever it might be. Work on your goals, and now everything else will come to you. Because women will notice that this is something that is attractive to you. They're attractive to this person because they're their own person. They're not going to wait around for them to call all the time and all things like that. They're not going to wait around for the simplest behavior. Like 99% of the men in this world. You are your own individual. Now, once again, what you do with this information and what you do with this behavior is up to you. I mean, I think certainly you don't want to let all these women become a distraction to you. But on the other hand, you have to set your goals and make sure that you know that these women are attracted to you. Because you have to kind of act accordingly. You don't want to get caught one time not acting accordingly, and all of a sudden now you're going down that hole that you don't want to go back to. And so the whole idea then is to be able to be under control, but also be this kind of maniac creature, this monster creatures out there, like a vampire and things that are totally controlled in situations. So that's why you have to become dominant. A dominant person, a dominant male is highly valued. And even more so in this society, because we have so many males who are submissive and not dominant, and they're told this is great because they were brought up not by men, but by women. And once again, nothing wrong with this in some regards. You need to have a little empathy, obviously, but the bottom line is that males need to be strong, masculine, and being able to kind of lead their own way. They need to be the leaders. And if you're not a leader right now, I encourage you to kind of learn more about being a leader. But you first lead by self-control, controlling yourself, controlling your physical nature when it comes to semen retention, when it comes to your emotional nature, not get angry, just doing your thing, and basically going your own way. The stoic behavior we talk about all the time, that you are detached from things. Do not detach yourself to things in the world, except for God. Be close to God, of course, but everything else besides that, detach from it. It is not that important in the long run. And the quicker you can get to that point of detaching, the less you're going to be upset, and the more you're going to be able to focus inward on yourself and saying, okay, how can I improve myself? And if I get better, then you don't have to worry about getting money, women, anything that you wanted to get. But remember, once you get those things again, what are you going to do with them? What are you going to do with the money? Are you going to invest it? Are you going to put it into some kind of, investments that are going to grow? Or are you going to basically just throw the money away? Drinking and things like that. And this is the kind of stuff you have to kind of think about, warriors, as you go along. And that's why we talk about all these other addictions kind of fall in line when you start your retention. Because now you're able to control that, and that's your hardest. The lust, and we'll talk about the deadly sins coming up pretty soon on one of our videos. But the lust is one of those sins. And once you control that, now you have a control on other things, and you're controlling yourself, and you're working with God's purpose to control that so you can have a better purpose for Him in the long run. All right, so that's a great comment from God's Chosen. I saw that one. I wanted to kind of talk about that one a little bit today, because I see that a lot of times we don't realize that society is going in a certain direction, and I think it's starting to change a little bit. I think it's going back to the way it should be, but there's a long time there that being a simp was the greatest thing in the world, That's what women said. They wanted someone that's always going to please them and make them happy and things like that. But guys, in the long run, that's not the case at all. It's really the opposite. I mean, they want a challenge. They want someone who's going to be treating them equally, like a person, not on a pedestal. They want somebody who basically is going to say to them no, basically saying you need to get yourself safe in shape, get yourself doing something, and you need to react to that. And I think if you don't react to that, and become that strong masculine male, you will not get the respect. And even in situations where you've lost respect, And I've had a lot of people talking about the fact that the woman they're with has lost respect for them. Well, you get it back by doing these same things. You get it back because once they realize that you're not that simp anymore, you're not just going to do things for them, and that you're going to do, and you're in control, you're a dominant one, then they change their tune. And they'll fall in line. They'll become submissive. But because you don't see that, then they have trouble and they kind of go their own way and they lose respect for that male. All right, my friends. Well, once again, God's choice, and thank you, my friend, for that comment. I appreciate that. Hope you guys have a great day. We'll talk again soon. And until then, I always leave with two things. First of all, have a great day. Every day is a new day to a great warrior. You guys are all great warriors out there having great days today. And second, we've got to continue to battle